there's a lot of people out there that probably don't know what no code means, to the point where, okay, well, so what? There's no software. So let's actually talk about the definition of what it means, but then let's get some practical examples around it. And I also want to hit, we're not coming in every time and saying throw away every SaaS product, right? We're basically saying keep some anchor things that make a lot of sense, and then we're kind of, no code is really the people, process, and IP between all functions, all process, all activities between those anchor applications, right? So maybe we start with kind of what is no code, for newbies, and then let's get into some examples.
So I have a walking around definition that I think I mean with it, and that is that a no code platform basically creates Lego blocks out of the outputs that a development team would otherwise build. So if you put 5 developers in a room and you gave them a bunch of requirements, and they had not written a line of code yet, and then 6 months later you have a product, like a software product out of that room, what are the components inside of that software product? Databases, relational databases, arrays, classes, dashboards, workflows, right? Like these are all things. And so a no-code platform is a SaaS tool. Like it you interact with it in a SaaS environment, right? Because it's in the cloud, but it is a SaaS tool that builds tools.
Well, I think that's a good way to express that, without a doubt. Yeah, because it can be used for anything, right? It's not industry agnostic. Or it is industry agnostic. Yeah, so I think that's fair. But maybe let's talk about who can use it. I mean, I now know a lot about no code, mostly because of you and what you did when you helped me with the company that I started. But now I use no code, right? I used to be a developer. I haven't developed in 10 or 15 years. So who is typically the person who could be using a no code environment, and what kind of training does it take, and how dangerous can you be?
Yeah. So
quickly,
if it's done well, the answer is anybody. Like my 13-year-old son built a Pokemon database that allows him to group his Pokemon cards by type, fire, water, etc. Right? He has different views of his Pokemon cards because he built a no-code database in Notion. I mean, I may have had something to do with that, but he was he was organizing and reorganizing his Pokemon cards, wanting to know what he had, and in order for him to go find one card, he would spend 3 hours on a Saturday kind of getting them all out again and reorganizing them again. So I just introduced this idea to him to say, hey, you could build a database, and this is what it would allow you to do. And so he did it, like with very little help for me. So when no code is done elegantly and well, the whole point is that anybody can do it. So maybe it'd be worth mentioning a couple of tools in the world of no code. The one that we're going to talk the most about, almost exclusively about in our client interviews and in our best practice segments, is Notion. I've been interacting with no code for the past 5 years. Notion is hands down my favorite, because it's the most flexible. There are other no code solutions. Like I actually chat GPT'd list the top 5 no code solutions. I don't have them up at the moment, but Bubble.
This is probably a good time to announce that this podcast is brought to you by Notion. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah.
Not at all. But that's an important thing. Like, we have no connection to them. It just happens to be the best product for us to deliver solutions, right?
So Bubble is another one. So you can chat GPT.
Asana.
I don't think Asana is no code. Asana is a project management platform. And so
you're right. Yeah, they're missing some of the stuff that no code can
but
do.
I'm also not an Asana expert, so apologies to Asana evangelists out there. Maybe it is. And again, this is part of the point of this series, is for us to learn from other people. So we don't show up here thinking we've got all the best right answers, but what we do have is real world evidence from real companies that we've solved real problems with. Like that's why we're doing this, is that you and I've been building businesses zero to exit from our different functional role points of view. And this is the most value creation and the most excitement that I've seen in my career. And I just want to tell these stories,